Good morning everybody. It's fairly cold today, and you know, when it's this cold, this might seem a bit bizarre, but my thoughts always seem to go, when I'm outside, to the guys in the trenches in World War One. I always think, oh my goodness, no chance of getting into the warm or getting dry clothes on even. Oh my goodness, what would it have been like for them? The church bells do. And that's just a tiny insight into what it would have been like to be that cold for that long. Just me walking this morning. Anyway, my thoughts then rolled on to other living history, like when they've done projects where they've built buildings. There's a Roman villa at Roxeter, Roman City, which I've covered in the membership this month because we're doing Romans in Britain, and they built that purely only with the materials and techniques that would have been known to the Roman builders at the time. And of course that is so insightful. It gives you such insight into how they would have done it, what problems they would have come across, how they might have got around those, or just slipped over. There was another one, actually there's a programme on at the moment called Back in Time for Tea, which is on I think it's BBC Two, and people are making do. Each day is a different year. But they're making do with whatever they would have had at the time in that year. So if there was the Depression on, was last week, so they were making do with very little ingredients, and they were having to make this food. And you can see in their faces what they say, just how much they then can understand about how it would have been to live at that time. And there's practical things like the Celtic Talks, the big the big necklaces that you see, in historical dramas, these big, chunky, wound-up metal necklaces. And I was watching a programme where this lady was, a modern-day jeweller, was trying to recreate that. And it was so hard. Like, she's still not quite worked out how on earth they did it, but did it so precisely and so beautifully. I'll pop a picture, actually, of some of the Celtic Talks that are in the British Museum. I've got some photos of those. I'll pop those on in a bit, just so you can see how beautiful they are and how amazingly intricate they are. And of course they were handmade. So just a bit of a thought for the day, living history and just how insightful it is.